Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to another episode. So, we're going to talk about things as we always do that we did as kids. And we are the Wills. I am Stanley. I'm here with my sister Yvette and also my brother Greg. How y'all doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Y'all doing?
I'm good. I'm good. On today's episode, we're going to talk about a game that we absolutely love. It's football, but it's a different type of football. We called it Pluck Football. It's also known as paper football. I think I saw somewhere where it's called flick football, even table football. So the way we make it, and it could be different ways you could make it, but the way I remember making it, that so you hold a long sheet of paper in your hand and you fold it in half. Now, not top to bottom, side to side. So a long sheet of paper. Once you do that, then you fold it again after you fold it in half. And then, like Greg was saying earlier, it's like you folding it to where it's like you making a flag or folding a flag, right, Greg? And then it comes up as a triangle. So I have the final one here, the final product right here. So that's our Pluck Football. I apologize to those of you who are listening on audio. So, we'll have to send you the link or something on how to make the football. But it was really cool. So that's really what you do. So you just take a regular standard size sheet of paper. It could be typing paper. It could be loose leaf paper. And you do it like that. And at the end, you tuck it in. And then you get this cute little football right here. And we called it Pluck Football.
We played in school. We played at home.
Mm-hmm.
You get on the table. You get on the coffee table.
Mm-hmm.
And you pluck across from each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to try to get it to stop on the edge, hanging off the edge without fall. And that's a touchdown. You get the touchdown, then you got to kick your extra point.
Mm-hmm.
And the other player got to hold their fingers up like this or like
Mm-hmm.
try to kick it, pluck it between it. We say kick, but it's plucking. Stand it up, pluck it between it, and if you hit it, if it goes through, you got your extra point. If it didn't, then you didn't. Then you just start plucking again and just go back and forth.
You know, the most interesting part about Pluck Football is I like it when you get a touchdown, because it's so funny how, like, when we watch football today, whether it's the NFL or college football, how they have so many of these rules now to determine, like, if somebody was out of bounds or if they were in bounds, and they're looking at it on instant replay. So with Pluck Football, like Greg just described, when you kick that football and it's at the edge of the table, that's where it's a touchdown. So it got to still be on the table. It got to be at the edge, and you got to do your finger to where once you do your finger across at the end of the table and the football moves, that means that it's a touchdown. So now sometimes it was obvious, because sometimes half of the football, so once again we have it here, so like imagine half of the football is at the end of the table, so you can obviously see that's a touchdown. But here is where the controversy came in. Remember when we have it where you could barely see if it was across, and then people would slide their finger, and the guy or the girl that made the touchdown sometimes would bend their finger slightly, and then they make that football move. It's a touchdown. Then we arguing like, no, you bend your finger. So
Your opponent was the referee.
exactly,
But they would
exactly.
probably not be truthful.
Yes. That's the thing. That's the thing that was controversial about it, is that people. So I used to, and I don't know if I actually did this. I guess I did. I used to think that the best way, the most fair way, was just to take a ruler or maybe a pencil and just make sure you have it straight, and then you just slide it across the table, and then that way, that was. But people used to always do that slight little bend just to make sure they had that touchdown.
Now, how do you determine who wins?
Yeah.
Like, how long do you play? Or
I think the way, I'm trying to remember how we did it. The way we did it is like, I don't know if we went to points. Sometimes we might say, let's go to 40 or something like that.
Just want to score 4 touchdowns or something like that. Depends.
Yeah.
so you just decide
And
ahead
remember,
of time.
And remember, it's like regular football. So, like, let's say Greg and I are playing, and I score the first touchdown. That's 6 points. But then, like Greg described, I got to kick the field goal, and if I hit it, I get 7 points. So that's my extra point. Or if I miss it, now I'm still at 6. And then, let's say when Greg is plucking, let's say I got 7 points. If Greg is plucking and he plucks it off the table 3 times, the next time after I scored the touchdown, then I go ahead and kick my 3-pointer. And then once I kick my 3-pointer, then now I have 10. So that's how it was determined whether or not you have your 3 points. Now here's the funny thing. I don't know if you guys remember this, but like, so if I'm holding the football like this, when we used to kick the field goal, sometimes we kicked it this way. So like my finger will pluck it this way. But then we started coming up with it where we plucked it this way. And some people used to say that used to give them an edge. They used to control it better. And then, you could, do whatever. But, and then like even how Greg was describing, I think we started off with this was your field goal. So this is the goal post and you kicking the football over that. But then some people started doing it like this. I think this was the new way, if I'm not mistaken. And then they did it that way. And then you could even make it more fun where you could, instead of using a white sheet of paper, you could go to the store, buy some brown paper and make you a brown football or make you an orange football. So get an orange sheet of paper, a green sheet of paper, a blue sheet of paper. You could do it that way and just make it more fun. Or you could even just write on it, write your team name on it, on the football, whatever you might, something just to make it more fun.
We used to see who could kick it the furthest.
Yes.
Who could just kicking field goals and all that.
Oh yeah. And see, guys, for those of you out there, whether you're woman, man, boy, girl, this is a good game for you because, like, and I think Yvette, you were saying this off camera, like, if your lights go out or something like that, or your games go out, whatever it might be, you have a little light, you could actually play Pluck Football. Because there's a really, I'm gonna be honest with you. I played that game as a kid, and I will still play this game today. Like Greg was saying earlier, you can have a coffee table and everything, and you could do it. It's best to do it more on a rectangular table, maybe a square table. It's harder to do it on a round table, but it can still be done.
Right.
But you could, just still make it a lot of fun.
Right.
That's the thing. So, and I don't know if we described it this way, but like if I'm playing Yvette, I'll pluck it, and if it doesn't go off the table, so now it's on her end, and she'll pluck it back. And I might not pluck it enough to where I might just pluck it to the middle of the table. Then you go ahead and pluck it back to me, Yvette, until one of us get a touchdown or whatever. And so, but yeah, it was so much fun. I mean, I even remember times when we would pluck and like maybe none of us were scoring touchdowns. So then we kept plucking it off the table. So next thing you know, the game is 9-6 because we were kicking so many field goals.
We got one part when Yvette was talking about earlier.
Oh, what part?
When somebody's kicking a field goal or an extra point, and you hold up your fingers, you gotta duck your head.
Oh yeah, yes. Right. Yeah,
When you walk and hit in the face.
So Yvette kicking a field goal, I gotta move my head because she might pluck it in my eye. That's the one thing. So you guys, if you played, you do have to be careful. It's not that you're gonna put somebody's eye out because it's paper, but it can hurt. That will hurt. People get paper cuts too, by the way. But anyway, so you wanna maybe make sure you move your head. I mean, sometimes what I used to do is kind of squint my eyes. I didn't want to close my eyes because if I close my eyes, then the person would say, "Oh, it's good." I'm like, "No, I know the field goal was good." So, so now you also could put glasses on while you're playing the whole time, or maybe when they're just kicking the field goal, then at least it might hit you in the head, but it's not gonna hit you in the eye. The thing I like about the game is that it's a really innocent game. You just play it with your friends or whatever. We used to play. I remember playing in the 7th grade, 8th grade, all that. and it keeps yourself out of trouble. You don't have to worry about, and that's the thing. Nowadays kids play video games all the time. This is a game you can play inside. You can play it outside too, of course, but you can play it inside. So parents out there, get your kids to play some Pluck football. Really good game. We loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to do it for this episode. So once again, we want you guys to like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you do that. And we'll be back with another episode. Take care.
See you.
Bye-bye, everybody.